Every accept, every decline, decided by Microsoft Copilot. We should be in for a wild ride. Let's dash. So when I came up with this video idea, I really thought that Copilot was going to be loosey-goosey with the accepting the offers, and it has been the exact opposite. Almost to the minute, 1 hour since we've gone online, we finally get our first acceptance. There was like one or two orders, definitely that Chili's order. If I was just working by myself, not doing this video, I would have accepted that. Almost $8 for like less. It was less than 5 miles. I would have accepted that. This is a 3-item shop from Aldi's. Copilot, I'd like to make some money. But man, they're tighter. They are tighter on their requirements than I am. So let's go shopping. After a couple more declines, Copilot accepted this offer from Panda Express. I believe it was like $10.75 for 5-point-something miles. Obviously an offer I absolutely would have accepted, but I guess at least we'll make some kind of money today. Copilot is keeping things strict, but it's funny. They keep talking about, well, this is going to kill the momentum. This is going to kill the Copilot has been almost 2 hours, and we're now on our second order. There is no momentum right now. There would have been momentum if I had been accepting, because like I said, there was a good 2 or 3 offers that they declined that I would have accepted, but let's go pick up this Panda Express. Copilot is killing us. We don't have another acceptance one yet. There's more string of declines. I would have accepted this one on Grubhub. That was like $9.30 for 6 miles. I would have accepted that. Again, this is not a normal day for me. Like, Copilot is very stingy right now. It is kind of crazy. And also, I would normally have Uber Eats up as well, but I guess since I have an Android, I've heard Apple users don't have this problem, or maybe it's just my phone. But I've had this on 2 different phones now, where Uber forces me to allow them to display over other apps. So I wouldn't be able to ask Copilot if I could do that. Sorry about that. Just got this offer here, which Copilot, I agree with you, absolutely not. Anyways, as I was saying, Uber forces me to display over the apps, so I wouldn't be able to ask Copilot. But also, Uber just spams offers, so like it would not be very efficient for me to ask Copilot every single Uber offer. If you've done Uber Eats, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's just order. And most of them, I decline. And I don't want to sit here. If I had the ability to, I wouldn't want to sit here, screenshot. Of course it's a decline. Screenshot. Of course it's a decline. Screenshot. Of course it's a decline, right? Like, that would just be a massive time sink and yada, yada, yada. So this is not a normal day. Normally I'd have Uber up, and normally I'd be moving. It's a Friday as well, just FYI. But I'm not platinum on DoorDash, so I have to wait longer for orders. Grubhub's been sending us a few offers that I would have accepted, but Copilot has said no. So I'm going to continue strong with this challenge. I'm not going to give up early like I do sometimes. We are sticking through it. We're going to do it. Copilot makes our decisions this entire shift. but it might be a bit of a shorter video. Hopefully obviously once Dinner Rush kicks in on a Friday night, things should start moving pretty quickly, but I am also just kind of sitting here in my car, bored out of my mind. So I'll see you in 2 seconds when we finally get an order to accept. I think Copilot is enjoying seeing me suffer. I don't know what side he's going to be on. The wait continues. I don't know if you've noticed, but Copilot seems to think that every single restaurant under the sun is notoriously slow. That's just not the case. Anyways, they do love their shopping orders. I think it's 5 items, 5 units for 9 items, whatever, from Aldi's for $2. It's a good offer. But it is Aldi's. And there's 2 liters on this. And I don't have a quarter to get a cart, so I'm going to bring my little wagon, Why not? Put it to good use. So you'll get to see my little wagon while we're shopping. But boy, Copilot does not like to make money. Let's go shopping. We finally have our next acceptance, and surprisingly, McDonald's, I guess, isn't notoriously slow. Wasn't a shopping order. Surprise, surprise. It's like $8 for 4 miles, or I think it's like just under 5 miles. I would have accepted it as well, but things are still slow. It's like 3:15 right now, so we should start to see an uptick in orders with it being a Friday night. So hopefully things start moving a little bit faster. Well, does look like it's picking up. We got this offer, which obvious decline. I agree, Copilot. And then we got this offer, obvious accept, which I agree, Copilot. But I find it funny that when it's a really good paying offer, all of a sudden these restaurants are fast and efficient. But if it's subpar or slow, those same restaurants are slow and inefficient and have long wait times. I think we're learning AI is still quite a bit off from taking over the world, people. I think Copilot likes to see me suffer. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a great dollar to mile ratio, $12 and some change for under 4 miles, but 11 items. That's way too many items for me. I would never accept this order. Like, I try to keep my items express lane only 10 or less. You know what I mean? Like 11, it's just, I'm just asking for substitution issues and being out of stock issues, and I think Copilot loves to see me suffer because I would have declined this. Yes, it's juicy on offer, juicy on paper, but no. But I guess we got to do it. Copilot said so. well, maybe Copilot actually does know what they're talking about. That order actually didn't end up taking too long at all. Found everything, no substitutions. And I got a little worried. Because we got hit with this add-on. It was like plus, shoot, I don't remember what it was. I think it was like plus $20 or something. It was plus a decent amount of money for only 1.2 miles, but it was over 20 items to shop for. I was like, Copilot's going to be like, ooh, that's a good offer. We should take it. But thankfully, Copilot saw through the BS and told us to decline it. I was worried. I was petrified. But thankfully, it all worked out. Let's go drop this off. All right, so we have a couple things to talk about. I knew that we were coming up on the dinner rush, and so I asked Copilot, like, hey, dinner rush is coming up, so instead of just spamming you with offers, should I just assume at this point that anything under $1 a mile we are going to decline? Which it said yes. So then I got an offer that was not $1 a mile, or that was, at least $1 a mile. And apparently there is a limit to the amount of questions that you can ask Copilot in a day. I guess at least for the free version. I'm sure if I paid, I'd be able to. So I accepted the Wingstop order, and on second thought, I was like, Copilot probably would have said no. And also, I don't want to do it. That's actually really not worth it because one of the people that it was dropping off at, I know is a no tipper, and so I unassigned both. I thought about to ending the video going, hey, Copilot, we can't do anything more. And I thought about ending it there, but I decided instead to pass the baton to Gemini to finish out our shift. And I asked Gemini right out the gate, what are the minimum requirements for me to send you an offer to say accept or decline? They gave the requirements here. One of them is $1.50 a mile. I know a lot of people reach that. I don't mind doing $1.25 to $1.35 a mile if the offer is worth it. Like dollar amount wise, like if it's $20, I might drive 17 miles for it. Maybe, possibly. But I'm also not going to sit here and try and do math in my head. I don't have that amount of time to accept and decline. So if it's like decently over $1 a mile, I will send it to Gemini to say yes or no. So we had 2 orders that qualified for that. Well, I guess technically 3, but 2 that they declined. It was this one here from Petco, 25 items. Thank God they declined that because I thought that they were going to have me do it because it was $3 a mile. Thankfully, they said no. But I looked at the list of items. It is literally like 1 Friskies cat food of this flavor, 1 Friskies cat food of this flavor, 1 Friskies cat food of this flavor, 1 Frisky cat food of this flavor. I'm like, geez, I feel sorry for whoever decides to accept that and do it. No, thank you. And then this order here, again, I guess it wasn't $1.50 a mile, it was $1.15, but I'm not going to sit here and do math in my head that quick. But I am surprised that they said to accept this one. Apparently, Gemini was on the fence with this one. They gave us a list of pros, a list of cons, that they were leaning towards accept, and they did decide to finally accept it. $16 and some change for a little over 10 miles, which kind of goes against one of their initial criteria, is if 10 miles leaves us out in the middle of nowhere, which guess what? Going to leave us out in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to have to drive at least 6 miles, maybe 7 miles to get back to where I can, sit and wait for an order. And it's a double stack. And I think Copilot would have said no. Gemini said yes. This is an interesting twist on this video that I did not envision happening today, but I'm here for it. I hope you two are. I am here for it. I hope you are too. Let's go get these orders. Well, we know that Copilot absolutely hated double stacks. Apparently, Gemini loves double stacks because here we go with our next offer that they decided to have us accept is a double stack from Pizza Hut. So let's get to it. All right, so Pizza Hut was an absolute circus. Employees cussing at each other, yelling. There was like 3 or 4 other Dashers waiting. I kind of knew from the get-go that it wasn't going to end well. One of the employees was vaping in the back instead of doing anything. It's really weird because I've never had any of those issues at this location before. So I asked Gemini, like, hey, they said it's gonna, it's not ready. Should I wait? They basically said wait till I get the free unassigned prompt, and then use my best judgment from there. So I waited, got the free unassigned prompt as you see here, and I went up and asked about my orders, and they were both still in the oven. Not one, but both were still in the oven. The guy that had gotten there before me was still waiting, so I have no brainer to unassign. So I unassigned both orders. Then we got hit with this nice spicy shopping order from Target. 2 items, over $11, less than $5. Yeah, Gemini agreed with me. This is a no-brainer, so let's go get it. Gemini declined a few more orders here, and then they accepted this order. Now, why DoorDash sends shopping orders and restaurant pickups in double stacks, I just don't understand. To me, that's just not smart. And of course, we have to pick up the food first, and then they want us to go shop, which, I mean, this is Lion's Choice. They don't have a food warmer anyway, so it would actually stay warmer in my hot bag in my car than it would at the restaurant, which is kind of sad. But this will be the last order that we do for this shift. It will be right around 8 hours when we're done dropping off these 2 orders. And I'd only planned to do it for 8 hours. I feel like that was a nice round number. We didn't do too hot. And we don't even need to go over the numbers yet. I mean, we will, but we don't even need to go over them for me to know that we didn't do well. Not being able to have Uber up hurt. There was a couple orders that they declined, that Copilot declined, that I would have accepted. Gemini, on the other hand, I agreed with all of their choices. Except for one, where when we dropped off that double stack that had the Red Robin, there was that McDonald's offer that was like taking us back into the Fenton area. I probably would have accepted that because that McDonald's is usually like that, and I would have been in and out, and or gotten paid to drive up to the restaurant hub, as so to speak. So I think that's the only deviation I would have taken from Gemini. So let me know if you guys want me to do this again with Gemini, Grok, whatever AI you have. Maybe I'll do it in blocks where, I do an 8-hour shift where I do 2 hours of Copilot, 2 hours of Gemini, etc., etc. This was fun. It was interesting to see the difference between the 2 AIs. This was not the plan. The plan was for Copilot the whole time. I did not know that there was a daily limit. So let's go pick this up, go do some shopping, drop off these 2 orders, and until we dash again, have a good one, guys.